For years, Indian spy movies followed a strict formula. The hero showed off his physique, traded flirtatious banter with a rival agent, and eventually the opposing sides teamed up to save the day. But audiences suddenly rejected the fantasy. By March 2026, theaters were packed for something entirely different. The film Dhurandhar 2 hit the box office and immediately broke gross revenue records by offering a highly stylized, unapologetically brutal revenge story. The film stars Ranveer Singh, who deliberately strips away the charming hero archetype. Instead, he plays a cold-blooded, calculating operative, known as a killing machine. Director Audit built this new aesthetic. He bypassed standard escapism, grounding the narrative in complex conspiracies, actual geopolitical strategy, and raw violence. The massive ticket sales send a clear message. Audiences are actively turning away from feel-good appeasement, choosing instead to financially endorse cinema that projects raw, nationalistic aggression. The script draws directly from recent Indian history. The plot centers around the trauma of the 26/11 attacks, coordinated terrorist bombings in Mumbai in 2008. The film uses this specific, real-world pain to fuel its core revenge arc. There are no misunderstood adversaries here. Foreign agents are depicted exactly as they operate in intelligence briefings, as absolute, ideologically driven threats to the Indian state, who cannot be reasoned with. This directly challenges decades of storytelling, where the state was blamed for radicalizing its own attackers. It removes the ambiguity and places the moral burden entirely on the perpetrators. By rewarding this specific type of story, the public is participating in a psychological hardening. They are using popular culture to prepare themselves for the reality of their adversaries. Outside the movie theaters, that reality was already unfolding. In late February and early March 2026, the US and Israel launched a massive, coordinated military strike aimed directly at decapitating Iran's top leadership. Iran retaliated immediately by severing the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow body of water connecting the Persian Gulf to the Gulf of Oman. This waterway acts as the primary choke point where a vast majority of the world's traded oil must pass to reach global markets. The blockade was enforced physically. The Iranian military actively targeted regional energy facilities and fired upon commercial tankers attempting to navigate the passage. In a matter of days, the complex network of global maritime trade ground to a halt. The perceived stability of the international market instantly dissolved the moment this single route was cut off. At the exact time the missiles started flying, India was experiencing a Goldilocks economy. A Goldilocks economy is a highly sought-after macroeconomic state where domestic growth remains exceptionally strong while inflation stays low and manageable. This bar chart contrasts India's massive crude oil imports against its minimal domestic production. Relying almost entirely on foreign energy, the devastating effect of the Hormuz closure becomes clear as the global price of oil spikes violently above $100 per barrel. This line graph tracks the resulting steep depreciation of the Indian rupee against the US dollar. As the energy shock hit, foreign investment fled the financial markets, driving the currency well past 92 rupees to the dollar. The era of high growth and low inflation was wiped out almost overnight. It revealed that domestic prosperity is highly vulnerable, entirely dependent on the outcomes of physical, hard power wars fought thousands of miles away. There is a direct link between the sudden economic vulnerability and the brutal new movies dominating the Indian box office. When a nation's physical security and economic stability are threatened, it accelerates the manufacturing of intense cultural soft power. The United States executed this exact strategy following the September 11th attacks. The American government and military apparatus worked closely with Hollywood studios to project an image of an invincible, highly advanced fighting force to audiences worldwide. These high-budget blockbuster action films operated as sophisticated state public relations. They provided a clean, heroic narrative that successfully distracted from the incredibly messy and complex realities of actual ground combat in the Middle East. Exporting movies and television shows serves a distinct strategic purpose. It acts as a defense mechanism, allowing the state to project an aura of absolute control and shape global perception, even while navigating intense geopolitical chaos. India is applying that exact playbook right now. The sudden abandonment of soft, romanticized spy diplomacy in theaters is a deliberate move to project uncompromising strength instead. The raw, violent aesthetic of these new films provides a shared, visceral experience for the audience. It functions as a unifying, nationalistic rallying cry to stand firm against mounting external threats. This storytelling strategy works on two fronts simultaneously. It hardens the resolve of citizens at home while explicitly broadcasting a newly aggressive, unapologetic posture to any foreign adversaries paying attention. The international market is fracturing under the weight of open economic and military warfare. To prepare for the harsh realities of this environment, India is weaponizing its cinema, actively constructing an impenetrable psychological armor for its people.